quite frankly, the Israeli government was begging for a ceasefire because in a war of attrition, those ballistic missiles were going to level Tel Aviv, and the Iranians were extremely accurate and extremely lethal, and they were able to get around the Israelis' air defense. Okay, so their ballistic missile program. So their nuclear program, their ballistic missile program, and they also have a very competent and strong drone program as well. Okay, so drones and ballistic missiles. And then lastly,
they also have 1 million plus men ready to fight on the ground.
Yes, they have a lot of people don't know this as well. The IRGC and the Iranian military in general, okay, huge fighting force, huge fighting force. And the other thing you guys got to understand is that Iran's a big country, okay? 90 million people. It's a big country, all right, compared to Israel's what, 9 or 8 million?
Yeah, and they have a ton of landmass, way bigger than Iraq, way bigger than Afghanistan, or similar size almost, but the issue is the terrain is similar. And so one of the biggest issues we had when we were fighting in the Middle East, honestly up until this day, but starting in 2003, we had a really hard time dealing with the terrain. Iran is very mountainous. Actually, you can see in this photo right here, Iran is incredibly mountainous. There's several different biomes that you'll come across in this land and in the Middle East in regards to Iran, Afghanistan, Iraq, and this is an advantage for the home country. This is a home court advantage. These people know their land, and this is precisely what we saw when the U.S. military was intervening in Afghanistan. The past, I know this is kind of abrasive to say, whooped their ass, for lack of a better term, and that's just because they were so much more familiar with their homeland and the terrain, how to deal with it, extreme heat. Tehran is a really interesting position where in some instances of Iran, you have snowy mountains, but then in other areas of Iran, you have desert that's incredibly hot. So that's also adds another element of difficulty for the United States and our military to intervene, especially if we get really deep into the waters of war and get boots on ground, which will result in, unfortunately, hundreds of thousands of casualties.
So just a recap. So Iranians' strengths are this. You got the axis of resistance, okay? You have their ballistic missile program, you have their nuclear program, and then the last thing that they have is the ability to really inflict serious economic damage, and what's also known as asymmetric warfare. The Iranians know they can't beat us in an actual head-on collision war. Okay, we'll just nuke them, they'll get destroyed, it is what it is, it's over, right? But what they can do, what they've proven, actually, which we're going to talk about this as well, is that they can absolutely make it painful for us to fight them, okay? They can shut down the Strait of Hormuz, which 20 to 30% of the world's oil goes through. They can hit oil refineries, they can hit oil fields, they can really demolish the Gulf, okay? Qatar, Saudi Arabia, all of our allies are sitting ducks where they're at. And Iran has the capability to hit all of these locations. They can destroy our military base in how do you pronounce it? I can never pronounce it, bro. That area, the base in the Middle East, the biggest Aluyad base. All right, whatever. Can't pronounce it, and I'm tired right now. But they could hit that base, right? They already did a symbolic strike on it last year, right? In June of 2026, or sorry, June 2025.
Just better understanding. Go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah. So those are the four things that's kept Iran alive in these multiple decades. Okay. So again, their ballistic missile program and drone program, which is very sophisticated, one of the best in the world. Okay. They have hypersonic missiles. We don't. Just to remind you guys. Okay. Very advanced. The axis of resistance, which has been weakened significantly. Bashar's gone. Hamas has been dismantled. Hezbollah has been, weakened significantly and hasn't been able to replenish. Their nuclear program, which they've always been a nuclear threshold state, they have the ability to, and they were going to get a nuclear bomb before they were getting hit by us. And then obviously the ability to conduct asymmetric warfare where they're able to not necessarily defeat the United States, but make it where the United States would incur serious casualties and create economic destruction if anything were to happen. Okay, so we talked about Iran. We talked about the history of Iran. We talked about and their top op, the United States. And we also talked about their ability to conduct warfare and their strengths. Let's go into what's been going on over the past few days. So over the past few days, okay, a drone went out to find the aircraft carrier Lincoln, okay, which has been out there with an entire armada of ships. We don't got a screen share on this one, Rad. We could go just regular, just us, right? And then we'll get in, and then when you cover your part, you're gonna have it.
Sure.
So this drone, guys, was able to get out there and collect vital information before being shot down by a fighter jet. Now, this drone is domestically made and costs about $20,000. Okay, it was able to get out there, collect information on where the ships were, the aircraft carrier, all of its defenses, etc., before it telegraphed that information back to the Iranians, and they had to scramble a fighter jet to shoot down this drone. Now, here's the problem here: that drone is cheap. They make it domestically, roughly $20,000, maybe if not less. Okay, because that's probably what they sell to the Russians for. It's probably less to make. They had to scramble a fighter jet, which probably cost a bunch of money to scramble it, And then the missile that they used to shoot down that drone probably cost significantly more than that drone. I think you guys see where I'm going here. We're running into the same exact problem that the Israelis ran into when fighting the Iranians. And since the Iranians are fairly resourceful and make a lot of their own weaponry, besides a lot of their sophisticated stuff, which we're going to talk about that as well, with the Chinese, okay? They have it, and they're also in their backyard, right? And the United States has a very long supply chain that they have to constantly replenish and take care of and to support and protect. Meanwhile, the Iranians are right there in their backyard. This puts us at a disadvantage. And I've told you guys this before. When it comes to warfare, the defending country is always at has a significant advantage over an invading country, okay? So this drone got shut down, but they were able to go ahead and get the information. Now, this forced the United States to back up. They had to push the entire Armada fleet back a bit, okay? On top of that, okay, the United States was slated to have talks with the Iranians in Istanbul, Turkey, okay? And the discussion was supposed to be on 3 things.
If you enjoy my videos, don't forget to like and subscribe. And if you want to create clips like these fast, try Opus Clips. It's smart, simple, and built for creators.